Push the image out to the live, and I'm hearing it. Okay, check, check. Looks good. Just want to make sure we're getting that image out to our peeps in the live cast part. It looks like it's good there. And we're live, all right. So here we are. I hope you're having an amazing St. Patrick's Day so far. So just so you know, we're live casting this on Facebook today as a sort of gift to everybody to celebrate health, wealth, happiness, some of the things that St. Patrick's Day is about. And I'm wearing green, so make sure we're dialing that in too. So today's hour goes like this. First, we're going to keep perspective in our 7 areas./These 7 areas are in the life assessment. So if you don't have your copy of this, I strongly recommend you go to bit.ly/mylifeassessment, or you can join us on the livecast page today, bit.ly/monthlyhealth, and you'll see a link for it to get it. The second thing we're going to do is go over the 10 needle movers. This is part of the Wheel of Perspective, part of my Health, Wealth, and Happiness Challenge. And this thing graphically shows you where you're out of alignment in life in those 10 areas that we teach. You know, number 1 is sleep. 2, hydration, meaning drinking water. Eating nutrient-rich, number 3. Those kind of things. We're going to go through that. Now, as you know, I'm very open and honest with where I'm at. And I kind of had in the last week, a major breakthrough in terms of feeling aligned and harmonious with what we're trying to accomplish in life. And that's a big part of today's discussion. Are we aligned and harmonious with what we're trying to accomplish in life? Aligned and clear about our purpose. As so many of you in the mastery community know, we've been dialing in over the last few weeks. Purpose mastery. Last Wednesday, we had our purpose in action, where we were seeing people who've lived through the high performance coaching work that we do and are really owning this conversation. Beyond their mindset, they're taking real action with their purpose to go out in the world and create real results. So I just want to shout out to AJ, to Jonathan, and so many of our mastery community members who have been crushing this and were great examples as they showed their purpose statement, but then also how they're actualizing in the world. But it all starts with these basics, these things. The next thing I'm going to cover today is the training piece as we go from perspective keeping to training on the 5 steps to maximize your learning journey. These are the things that I've learned over the last 15 years in my self-development, personal development journey. And it just kind of gives you the simple things to keep in mind, fundamentals at the top level, and then how to take powerful notes. And I'm going to pop on the big screen at the end and show you exactly how that is put in play so you can practice your, as you can see here, number 1 in the tactical piece, practice your note taking. How are you taking notes so that you can reflect on them quick and get reintegrated in that learning journey? Or do you just have a bunch of notes and you're like, I don't even know where to start? So you're going to see exactly how I've evolved and how I've shared that. So many of the people that go to the events that I go to, they're always like, dude, I see you taking notes on your laptop like a madman. So I just want to do a shout out to my grandpa. Rest in peace, Bob, for rocking it out for me, telling me at the age of, I think it was 3rd grade. So what is 3rd grade? Let's see, about 8 years old. Was that 8? Man, must be 8, 3rd grade, whatever it is, to tell me to start to learn to type. My very first typing was typing the lyrics to The Gambler by Kenny Rogers on 3-part paper to bring it in. And I don't know why our music teacher was teaching us this, but to share this, she said, Char, you go ahead and type the lyrics. We're going to be singing the song in class, and you bring all the lyrics for all the kids. So I needed to type that like 10 times, I think, for 30 kids. And because I had 3-part paper, and I'm just sitting here going to town. But it was when I learned the home keys, all these important things. And why? Why is that even important? It's because that's the mechanism for capturing this. Now I've got literally thousands of notes that I can get to like this on my phone. And I'm going to break that down for you because that right there is the mastery piece to your learning journey, is to be able to keep the new perspective you've got in play and really go after it, to get back in, get that reintegrated. Give you a big hint. Guess what I'm not doing? I don't have any games on my phone. I have all notifications turned off. But when I have time where I'm sitting there waiting for something like at a light or waiting for somebody at the parking lot, like one of my girls, for example. I pick my phone up, pop on Evernote, and I look at, I'll pick anything, and I'll just start reading it and reviewing it, and I can hit it like this. So does that all make sense? Like, I want to make sure by the end of this session today, you've got this practice or this view, this visualization of what that can look like, so you can own it. Cool? So with that all being framed, let's jump right in, crush this today, and shout out to you guys on the live Facebook live cast. Looks like we have a few people in here. Oh, nice. Cool. So that being framed, let's just jump in, keep in perspective. If you don't have it yet, go to bit.ly/mylifeassessment. Grab your assessment. It's actually a full-page piece of paper. These are the 7 areas that we're going to cover to keep perspective with. The first one is now. So when we dip into your life right now, if I was to skydive right into your life and take a look at what was going on, this is the thing that I'd be asking. And I want you to rate yourself 0, don't have this dialed in at all, to 10, I'm owning it with where you're at today, St. Patrick's Day 2018, and whether you're owning this and have been for the year or you got work to do. You clear? Okay, here we go. I am where I thought I'd be at this point in my life. Overall, I'm living into the best version of myself. For me, those I love and care about, and the world. So how are you doing there? 0, yeah, best version of myself, don't even know what that is. I'm not where I thought I'd be at this point in my life at all. 10, yeah, I'm right where I thought I'd be. Actually, I'm maybe farther ahead than I thought I'd be. And I am living into the best version of myself for me, those I love, care for, serve, and the world. What's showing up for you there? Now, I teach this, so this is conversation in my head all the time. And like I said, I'm going to rate these. I'm going to do that in black for us today. And so I feel like when I look over this, I'm at about an 8 out of 10. I got work to do. So I'm going to put an 8 up here. So what's one thing that I need to work on? I really want to dial in what we're going to talk about a little bit in the needle movers, the health aspect in exercise. My good friend Don Pryor, who's doing this brand new online training, him and I have known each other since probably the 80s. We went to middle school, high school together. And back in the day, him and I both weighed in at around 250, 270, maybe 280. And today I'm dialed in about 195 because of high performance practices. That's what kept the weight off sustained for the last 6 years. Rock and roll. And Don's doing the same thing, but he's ready to teach people on this. And so a big part of this whole idea is really owning that conversation. So whatever that is for you, if it's below an 8, think about one way you can level that up, just one number. What's one thing you can do? And let me give you a hint. It is to get out a piece of paper, put at the top, this is the best version of me. And just describe your qualities, your traits, your attributes, maybe even your values, and go after it. How's that? Pretty cool? Number 2, my best self. What is it? Let's go and rate ourselves. Overall, I feel healthy, happy, and energized. My energy levels are consistent throughout the day and even sustain into the evenings until I start to wind down for bed. Ooh, that's a big one, isn't it? So what is that for you? You feeling healthy, happy, and energized? Energy levels consistent throughout the day? Does that energy sustain, or does it go like this? For me, this week has been a testament to that. And I'm going to give myself a 9. I've really lived into knowing what my triggers are for demoting or devaluing my energy and not going there. Let me just give you a hint. Breads, donuts, those kind of things. And living into that higher level of, okay, I'm drinking my kale smoothie right here, right now, right just off camera down there, and owning that. So what is that for you though? Really think about this. When you get this dialed in, overall, you're feeling healthy, happy, and energized. And if that rating's below an 8, once again, think about one way to level it up. The number one thing that a lot of the people that I've coached, I've had the honor of coaching over 3,000 high-performance coaching sessions in the last 6, almost 7 years, along with coaching people in life before that and in business. The number one thing towards health is their sleep, and number 2 is the hydration. Like when people dial in getting the right amount of rest and really priming their body to sleep well and hydrate, mostly water, that is probably the biggest game changer towards feeling better, feeling more energized and healthy. I've got 2 bottles of water right off camera here, and I'm just sucking them down, keeping hydrated. Got rid of, when I started that practice a few years back, got rid of those dull headaches that I used to get. Primarily because I used to drink like 6 to 8 Mountain Dews a day. That probably wasn't good, 6 to 8, 20. And I always tell people like, hey, look, it's got water and orange juice in it. I'm drinking healthy. Yeah, not so much. Of course, that was way back when I was a big boy. Bringing out my big boy self, as we call it. So my best self. Next up, my relationships. This is number 3 in the life assessment. My relationships. I work diligently to create, build, and maintain great relationships with those around me. I feel good. I feel I'm a good role model for my loved ones, those close to me, and the world. I consistently listen well, show compassion for myself, others, and communicate my thoughts and feelings. I know that was a lot, but here's the idea. Are you communicating well? Are you keeping your relationships alive? Are you really going after creating and building positive relationships? We call this in high performance coaching, building growth friends. People who support you, champion you on, are there for you, got your back. That don't stay in the world or stay too long in the world of blame, excuse, denial, right? These are the differences, and this is what I want to make sure we're dialing in for you. So what is it there? I got to tell you, I'm like at a 9. I never would give myself a 10 here because you can always, in my opinion, I can always do better. But I'm really dialing that in, especially this year more than ever. And I hope, as I've gone through that, you know what? Wherever you're at, be real with it. You know, if you need help there, if you really want to move that forward, I'm here to support you, help you, sort of challenge you, champion you on. And if you don't believe there's good people in the world, maybe that's your life circumstance right now. I've coached 2 people in the last 3 weeks that said, you know, where I live, these kind of people, they just aren't around. And I said, do you really believe that, or do you believe you just haven't found them yet? Oh, good point. Maybe I need to go out. So my challenge for you is to think about, where can I get into groups of people or around people who are of that growth mindset? That idea of, I'm going after a vision. I'm clear about what my ambitions are. These kind of things. What's showing up for you? Comment below if you got any feedback on what's worked for you or what you're committed to. That's really, really powerful. Cool? You got this. And if you need help, as I tell you over here, I'm here to help and support you. Well, let's rock. Let's go after it. All right, that's number 3. Number 4, stress, overwhelm, and clarity is the topic. You can see it right here. Here's the thing to rate yourself against. I have great stress management practices in play. When I do get stressed, I know exactly what to do to reduce or remove it from my life. I typically do not feel overwhelmed or distracted because I have clarity of who I am and what I should be doing every day. Again, that's a big one, right? Just your overall average of how well you're living into that. When you think about what I just said, how are you doing there? 0? Yeah, I'm just a reactive beast in life, just hanging, kind of swinging like Tarzan from one stressful thing to another, get through my day, and I'm like, I made it? What? Really, really powerful. So for me, yeah, I think in the last week, I've leveled this up another one. So I'm going to give myself an 8 here. There's always more work to do. I'm very clear about what I need to be doing in the world, very clear about who I am. That's why I'm sharing this on Facebook today, making sure that people out there celebrate St. Patrick's Day, the idea of health, going after celebration of feast of St. Patrick and his death, all these kind of things. We're really owning this conversation. So we celebrate, we have fun, enjoy life, but we got these things dialed in. Next up, my career mission. The work I do in the world is meaningful to me. I believe I'm consistent about living in alignment with what's the best use of me, my passions, and my talents. Well, it's showing up for you there. You go to work every day and you're like, yeah, I cannot wait till Monday at 7 a.m. hits. I'm on it. I'm ready. I'm going. Or do you go to work on dreading that Monday, knowing that you could be doing something better in the world, just haven't taken the steps to get there? I've been there. So many people I had the honor of coaching have been there too. Let me tell you, if you need help, let me know. Comment below. I'll give you a couple resources you can get right into to help with that. Some things that'll really move the needle for you. So for me, that's a 10. I'll give it a 10 plus. All right, next up, my hobbies and passions. This is the one that when people live into this, they're the kind of people, at least from what I've perceived, that feel like they're so in alignment with life, they're dialed in and rocking it. Like they just have this peace. They're like, yeah, I'm doing a work thing, but I'm also dealing with my hobbies and passions. So that presumes, of course, that you know what your hobbies and passions are. A lot of people I coach, they haven't even thought about that 10, 20 years. So go back to your childhood. What did you enjoy? So for me, it was real simple. I love being in nature, walking, biking, playing sports, softball, volleyball. What else did we play? Badminton. And I love playing guitar. I love playing video games, but I don't let it consume me. So Battlefield 4, Rocket League, Resogun on the PS4, these things are really critical to me on a day-to-day basis. Just 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there. And I get out of that and I feel like recharged because it was living into something that just really fuels me. So what is that for you? What do you love to do, or what do you really need to go after? You know? So here's the statement. Rate yourself. 0, yeah, don't have hobbies and passions. 10, owning it. I know and understand the importance of having my hobbies to help me continually connect with my creative and self-expressive side. I'm consistent about nurturing my hobbies and passions. So if I was to look into your schedule, would I see you have time blocked either every day or a few times a week towards doing the things that you love? Maybe it's going, a lot of people I've seen are doing that wine and draw, like they paint pictures with wine and cheese kind of thing, and they love it, but it activates their creative realm in that space, right? So powerful. So where are you at there? You know, if you need some ideas, comment below because I'll be able to go through and help you there to kind of stimulate that if you just haven't thought about that in a while. But I hope you understand the connection to doing that work towards feeling better in life. My dream for you is to not have regrets when the end of life comes. Whatever that is, like so many others have had. My grandparents, my biggest role models in life, Bob and Bernice, rest in peace. They were so dialed in on their hobbies, their passions, unconditional love for others. But the number one thing they did that so many others who have that within them maybe don't do is they took action on it. It wasn't like, hey, this weekend we're going to do this to help others. It was like, Char, get in the car, we're going. And I'm like, where are we going? We're going to go to the deaf school and be with the kids who were there for over the weekend because their parents didn't come pick them up. This was in downtown Detroit in the 70s. And I'm like, okay. And it was an amazing experience for me. Contribution, but that was their hobbies and passions, right? That's a huge part to this. So, where are you at there? I'm going to say for me, I'm doing okay. This is one place I'm going to give myself a low score of a 5 because I got work to do. Got a lot of work to do here. I've been in setup mode, implementation mode, going after it. And this is a big shift. We're really trying to turn, get into April, bringing these things back online in more force, more scheduling to really go after it. And the last one, and this is exactly what we were just talking about, my life's ambitions. I really want you to think about this. Let's take a breath. Close our eyes. As I read this, I really want you to think this through for you. Critical. If I died tomorrow, I wouldn't have any regrets. I've lived a life where I paid attention to and taken action on my life's ambitions. At least once a year, I reevaluate my life's ambitions and schedule time for them. So this presumes that you have life's ambitions. And if you don't, get out your journal. If you don't have a journal, get out a piece of paper, open a Word document, whatever that is for you. Put this, my life's ambitions. Just think about the things you want to do in life. Some people call that the bucket list, right? The things you want to do in life, list them all. Brainstorm. Do something I like to call open journal. Keep that open, maybe on a desk or on your kitchen counter or on wherever, and go add to it every day. Because once you start that process, really powerful. If you want to go to advanced level, once you get maybe 50 things down, prioritize them. Rock those suckers. Prioritize the top 3. Say, all right, I'm scheduling time for them. You know, some people, they're like, my life's ambition is to go out and enjoy nature. And I don't do that a lot. So they're like, cool, what am I going to do to enjoy nature? And they look in the half mile around them, and then they just go out, like me, the practice of mine is I go out and touch palm fronds, smell flowers, look at the sky. Remember that I'm here for a short amount of time. I want to maximize it. want to help you, serve you, support you, champion you on, challenge you. That's the coach in me. Really go after all that for you. So how do you feel about that? You dialed in? I hope so. My dream for you is to just totally crush this. If you need help, I'm here for you. We've got a lot of people in our mastery community that are here for you. As you know, we talked purpose in action on Wednesday. We went through and shared these people, they're about helping others improve their lives somehow. And for us to do the work, help others grow their business too. Cool? All right, now we're going to switch to the 10 needle movers. So for me with my life's ambitions, I'm very dialed in. I know there's work to do. The 10 needle movers is all part of the Wheel of Perspective. If you want to get this, go to bit.ly/monthly health, all one word. You'll see a link to click and download this PDF, print it. And this, something I suggest you try on a weekly basis. Fill it out, put your date at the top, or there's a date down here actually. Do it every week, every Sunday. Just print out 5 copies of these for the next 5 weeks, and then watch how this evolves because you're paying attention to these things. Cool? So these are the 10 needle movers to live a healthy, wealthy, happy life. You guys ready? I hope so, because I'm ready. Here we go. First one, sleep. In the last week, how have you done 0 to 10 on sleeping 7 to 9 hours? Be honest. What is it for you? What's showing up there? For me, 10 plus, baby. Once I got clear on that, I knew that was my shift in life. I was the night owl for so many years. I was the guy staying up to 2 or 3 and saying my creative time was from 11 to 2 in the morning, which was kind of a lie. Sometimes it was, most of the time it wasn't. Now I get up at 5:30, 6 usually at the latest, and my creative time is 6 to 8 in the morning. But it's consistent creative time, right? That's the gold here. So let's rock this out for you. If you're not getting to sleep, let's talk about it. Why aren't you getting to sleep? Comment below, I'd love to hear. Next up, hydration. I've been consciously drinking water daily. Like, do you have, like I have right here, 2 insulated water bottles, bring the joy, honor the struggle, filled with water, and are you hydrating? Cheers to you, if you're doing it. I can only tell you, once I got clear on not hydrating with soda, my last soda I ever had was June 30th of 2008. I'm a little bit of a date freak. That's the way that works. And I can tell you, I haven't had one since. It's almost 10 years now. And I drink a lot of water every day. And that really has helped my headaches. I used to get a lot of dull headaches. I haven't had dull headaches since I started the practice 6 years ago. So I hope that helps you. Next, eating. I've been eating 80% nutrient-rich food. What is nutrient-rich? It's eating from the rainbow, not Skittles. Green things, orange, red. Oranges, apples, red peppers, green peppers, kale, blueberries, bananas are all in this delicious, yum yum. Oh, kale, yeah, baby. Kale. So with that being said, really want you to think about this. What's the go-to? If I was to just skydive right into your kitchen, and that's maybe where you're getting most of your food, right? And we just look through your refrigerator and your cupboards, would I see a lot of beige? Would I see a lot of pretzels? Would I see a lot of maybe chips? Or would I see a lot of, we'll just say seaweed snacks? They sound gross, but it's actually really good. Would I see a lot of color in your fridge? And I'm not talking about those bags of Skittles. I'm talking about greens, reds, red peppers, cucumbers, these kind of things. And are you actually in the practice of eating that more often than not? Give yourself a rating there. Let me know. I'm going to rate all my stuff in just a little bit for you. Exercise. I've been revving my heart and getting sweaty 2 to 3 times a week for 30 minutes. That's like the bare minimum for rocking this out, right? Is really going after this. So for me, that looks like a good 2 to 3 mile run, followed by some weights. I have a kettlebell right off camera here that I hit, kind of threw my back out a little bit. I think I was a little over anxious on Monday. But I do that. I try to do at least 20, a couple times a day, 20 kettlebell swings. And that works out really well. Tell you what, it really helps my backside and my butt. I feel like it's been doing that over the last, really started the practice 2018 full on. My butt's never felt better. You like that? So are you doing it or are you not? And what's throwing you off if you aren't? Cool? All right, next up is breaks. One of the things we know from high performance studies is taking a break every 60 to 90 minutes to re-energize, reset, set intention is incredibly powerful for magnifying our ability to get things done. So how are you doing? Are you taking a break consistently every 90 minutes or so? I'd even say every 60. I've got an app on my computer called Recess. You can get it in the Mac store, and I don't know what it is for the PC, but you can get this app, goes in your tray, and it pops a screen up that says time to break. You set the intervals. It's called Recess. You get it, I think you get it in the App Store on the Mac. Whatever it is for you, just reminding yourself to do that. If you're like, yeah, that doesn't work, just try it. Please just try it for me. Please try it for yourself. Would love for you to see those results that I'm seeing and so many others are seeing. Okay, so that's the first 5 in the needle movers. What do we got here? Ooh, we got to speed it up a little bit. Hydration, 9. Eating, 9. Exercise, 6. I had back things going on. I had to slow that down a little bit. Taking breaks, I'd say a 7 there. Next, we have happiness. And the biggest thing with happiness, have I been learning, creating, and sharing things that I love? Maybe it's, if you're a thought leader, it's your courses or your videos on Facebook, whatever that is. And well-being around people who generally uplift me. So there's 2 parts to that. Kind of talked about this in our first 7 areas. The idea that we're around the right people, growth friends, and that we're doing things, learning new things, creating from what we've learned and sharing it with the world. So how are you doing there? Where do you need to up level? What are you going to do this week to change that? How many new friends are you going to create that are the growth mindset? Next, finances. Are you living within your means, and are you committed, as David Bach teaches, to auto savings, where you don't even see the money, it automatically goes into savings or a Roth IRA or whatever that is for you, and that's stored away for the future, but you still have money to enjoy life with too. Does that make sense? Like, we're not living in debt? If you're struggling with debt right now, please comment below. Let me know. I got a couple things that I can give you right away to help you. These are things that I went through. I've been debt-free since 1996 and really got clear on what that means to sustain it. Would love to share some really big breakthroughs for you in that space. Cool. Presence, number 8. How present have I been on a daily basis? Not distracted, but full of engagement and joy, and we'll say confidence as part of the high performance work that we do with the people you're around. How's that showing up for you? If I looked at you in the last week and you said, Tara, come with me and see how I'm doing, what's showing up there? Can I see full presence? Even with just yourself, like present and enjoying the moment, wherever you're at. What's showing up? That's the hardest thing today, especially in light of these huge distractions we've got with all of these notifications on our phones, right? And then next, presence. This presumes that you have, purpose. This presumes that you have a purpose. So, have I been living towards my life purpose? At the highest levels, the people that I've coached over the years, purposeful living for them is helping others improve their lives somehow. And if they happen to be in business where they help other businesses, helping others grow their business somehow. That's it. That's the arc. Helping others improve their lives, helping others grow their business. And usually it's in the helping others improve their life. Even if it's not part of a business endeavor, just part of living purposefully. So if you don't have a purpose statement or whatever, we teach that in High Performance, Session 11. That's the idea. Cool? And finally, daily plan. Have you been in control of your daily agenda? Or has life been in control of you? What is that for you? 0? Yeah, life's just owning me right now. 10, I got my life dialed in. Realize stuff shows up, as I like to say, life shows up. But I got things check, right? Really powerful there. So, for me, happiness, boy, this last week has been great. I know I can level up. Finances, we are on that 10. Presence, I would have to say a 9. I know that I can do a little better there. Purpose, living purposefully, 10. And then daily plan, 7, because there's a couple things that have come up that I got to dial in. I'm working on that in my weekly review tomorrow morning. So that ends the first part of our training today, perspective keeping. Keep in mind your challenge. Print out a bunch of these life assessments, print out a bunch of these Wheel of Perspectives, and just review them every week, every Sunday morning. Quickly go through them. Keep them on file. I have a lot of people that I coach. They do a 3-ring note binder and they punch the corners and they watch their progress as they go through the year. And on the back, they'll take notes too. So with that being said, let's jump into part 2 of today's monthly Health, Wealth, and Happiness training. And for those of you on Facebook who are joining or loving, I hope you're loving this. This is what we do, part of our mastery community. If you want to join, it's real simple. Comment below, I'll send you the application. We do this training, then we do business and internet mastery from, noon to 1. And then from 1:30 on, I just stay on Zoom all day answering questions. We got some already set and making sure that we're handling whatever shows up for you. Rob, Nina, Don, you got some questions. We're going to be covering those. We're going to clear the whiteboard, do strategy, all that kind of stuff. Loving it. So that being said, let's jump right into training. The 5 steps to maximize your learning. This presumes that you have a learning schedule. This is something we teach in competence in high performance coaching in the charge sessions, and it's skill stacking. Like, do you have 30-day learning goals? If you don't, what do you want to learn in the next 30 days that can move your life forward? If that's new wording to you, really consider it. What is it that in the next 30 days I need to learn? So a lot of things that come up for people is this. I need to learn how to better handle communication with those I love. So that usually falls into high performance work. Courage, energy, influence, persuasion, and again, living purposefully. For others, they need to learn how to invest better. They need to learn how to get out of debt. These kind of things. So whatever that is for you, just frame it. What is it that you need to learn in the next 30 days? Think about that. Cool? Okay, let's dive in. So the very first thing is, and it goes right along the lines of what I just said, you need to know your learning goals. And if you're looking for topic areas, think about health, wealth, and happiness. If you're looking to really amp up your health, high performance habits, Brendon Burchard, shout out to the man. If you're looking to increase or really consider living wealthy, like from the financial sense, David Bach, Automatic Millionaire, hands down one of the biggest game changers in the work that I've ever done. If you're looking for happiness, my great friend Nick Pigeon just released her book, Now Is Your Chance. And it goes through a 30 days of daily things you can do to bump happiness using science-backed, heart-centered, positive psychology. You follow? This is gold. So if you need any of those books, I'll be linking to them in the replay, but those are the ones to get started in each of the areas that I recommend. Cool. So what is it for you? What are your learning goals? Share them below. Would love to see, because if there's anything I can do to support you, serve you, like direct you, there's videos that I have that help people in specific areas. I'll be happy to give them to you and make sure you got that covered. Cool? Next, find out and research, and this is really important, who has generated real, and I'm going to circle that, results. In today's world, you've got people who are good on camera, who just naturally can get on camera and talk, and they have that voice where they're like, yeah, you listen to me, and you do listen to them. Like, they just have a commanding presence about them, but they're rehashing things. They're what sometimes we'll call the research reporter expert, and that's a baseline level learning, and that's good. But what's exceptional learning is finding people who have specifically, in my job, and this is what I do, specifically on their own created real results by putting in sweat equity to really go after their goals. And when I figured that out, this was a few years back, it really narrowed my focus for who I was going to learn from. You follow? That was a huge game changer for me, to find research who has generated real results. And if you need help there, comment below. I've got, like, in every facet of a learning goal, just because I've collected this information, be happy to share it with you. Would love to share that with you, actually. I've got 3 main experts I follow right now. These are part of my mentoring program for myself. My learning goal is to find good mentors and follow them. Brendon Burchard, Bill Gates, Elon Musk. So that's, for this month, that's my learning goal, just consuming. Brendon is always part of the learning journey for me, because he's like the model for how we can live purposefully, love purposefully, and matter. Live, love, matter is his motto, right? Bill Gates, he's doing some things right. Got a lot of stuff right in his life, right? And then Elon Musk is just, you ever listen to him? It's about the big picture, what we need to do for humanity. Boy, is that great learning. So what is it for you, though? What is your learning goal? Who are the mentors you can follow? Really think about that. Next up, know and align your own. So we have the 5 steps, maximize your, know and align your own. So you got to know and align your own goals. We've really got to think about, all right, what is it for us right now? Even think about it this way. Know and align your own outputs. What I mean by that is this. When we go into learning journey, we really want to make sure on the other end of it that we're clear about how this is going to help us progress in the way that we want to maybe serve the world, be better for a significant other, for our kids, for our family. So at the end of any book that I read, I'm like, what's what I've learned here going to help me with to really own that next level that is actionable, tactical, that I'm not doing already? You follow? And that's a really critical conversation. And we really want to make sure we step into that for you. So if you're having this problem like, I don't know what I want to do, I'm not clear about those things, comment below, because there's a lot of training that I have and a lot of others have that can help get that clarity and live purposefully from that perspective. But we have to know the outputs we're going after. We like to call them in high performance the productivity outputs, the big things that we really want to own moving forward, right? But knowing them is a whole different story than this. Define and do your 3 moves. So many people, they get caught up and frozen in, okay, I know what I got to do, but it's new and I don't want to do it. They freak out. They got to call on courage within themselves. We teach this in high performance as knowing the things that are holding you back, these 3 big fears. What you're going to lose if you go forward with it. Maybe that's a fear for you, loss pain. The process, I don't want to do the process. I'm not sure what's going to happen. And the outcomes, like the output, the outcomes from doing it. You know, that idea that the grass may not be greener on the other side, right? When we do the work. But here's what we know about the highest performers, the people that are just crushing it. They're taking very clear action every day. And most of that action is stuff that they're not practiced in or comfortable with. They're just going after it. So many people I'm blessed to help, serve, work with. They're trying to get on video and really build a following so they can build a business. And this is a big part of that conversation. What are the things that are our outputs towards growing the business? And what do we have to do? What's our 3 big moves there? Follow? Pretty cool. Next, you got to know and confirm your purpose. So if you don't have a clear purpose right now, that's the huge part. Once I got clear on mine, and I'll give you the do part of my purpose statement, is to help others improve their life somehow from where they're at to where they want to be. I happen to do that in 3 ways, in life, in business, and online. Once I got clear on that, it was like, okay, everything that I learned, going right up to this whole list, has got to be towards improving people's lives in business, online, in life, right? These are the things. So I'm always on the hunt for great material there. Luckily, there's a ton of it available. So I hope this helps. Let's kind of recap what we've taught so far. And just so you know, if you're a teacher, trainer, this is all part of adult learning theory. Going from big picture to training to tactics, and then reviewing things periodically so it lets it sink in for the people that are watching, right? Big thing that I learned as I was going on my journey toward a learning goal of being a better teacher was doing that work. People love 5-item lists for some reason. 3-item lists, 7-item lists. You see it all show up, everything that I do. So that's the big frame for you if you're going to be teaching. But here's the idea today. To maximize your learning, you got to know your learning goals. Think about it if you don't have any idea what that is. In health, in wealth, could be building a business for that context. Oh, another good book for you is E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber. It's the book I recommend to all brand new entrepreneurs. It talks about the technician, the manager, and the entrepreneur. And then happiness. Thanks to Nick for rocking that book out. Find out, research who has generated real results in those areas. Really important you get those people. I like the ones that do it themselves, the DIYers, because that's who I am. Third, know and align your outputs, your learning goals. Like really align with what are the outputs I'm trying to achieve? Whether that's to grow a business quick and go after it, that's one big thing. Define and do. Take action. Go after your 3 big moves and really define what those 3 big moves are. Know and confirm your purpose, because here's what we know. When you have a well-defined purpose, it emotionally fuels you to do the work. People who are like, I don't know if I want to do that, they just haven't got the emotional articulation dialed in for crushing it. Like, you ever feel when you're on the hunt, if you live in purposely or in the zone or in the flow, whatever, you're just like, gotta go after this. Move out, move away, world. I'm on the hunt. I'm going after it. That's a big part of this conversation. And that's something that I really want for you, is to get that emotional connection. I hope you felt that before in your life. And think about what it is right now for you. Really powerful. So the bonus of how I take powerful notes now, and we're going to switch this into tactics in just a minute for you so you can see it, is this. First of all, when I'm taking notes, I do it in a bulleted form fashion. And what I'm listening for first, and I'm going to go ahead and put these in black, is I'm listening for themes. What does that mean? So when I'm taking notes, I'm looking for phrases or quotes that emotionally anchor me towards a learning goal. So let me just kind of frame that for you. In the world of health, big theme, sleep is everything. Own your sleep. Like, that's a theme that I remember on those days where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna stay up tonight. I'm gonna get up early tomorrow, stay up tonight. Oh, I know what that's gonna feel like. No, I'm not. I'm gonna go to sleep. Sleep is everything. That's 3 words that keeps me on track day after day. It has for the last 7 years. You follow? So I'm putting those in quotes. Next, stories. Sometimes we forget the impact of something. Like when I say sleep is everything, we're like, yeah, I know sleep's good. But if you hear a really good story, whether that's in video or in a book, I challenge you to write down the page numbers to reignite that feeling, or timestamp. Like, watch this video, go to 3 minutes and 54 seconds to reintegrate why it's important to you. You follow? Arianna Huffington wrote a book on sleep. And I reference that a lot, or I haven't in a while, but I don't need to now because sleep is everything is my thing. But I referenced that a lot as I was getting that fuel to really own sleep. And I hope that helps, because that has been the game changer. So you'll see in my notes, pages, a link to a video, and I do all my notes in Evernote, as you'll see in just a minute, that really help reiterate what that is for me. And I hope that helps you too. Next, distinctions. I'll show you in just a minute, but in my notes, I put the word distinction or major distinction in front of a powerful theme or a powerful statement that was made or a powerful idea. So when I'm skimming through my notes, those major distinctions are things that that's where I need the most work. If I rated myself against that statement, it would be like, get it, know I need it to go to my next level in my life or business. Got to concentrate on how I'm going to manifest that, how I'm going to make that real for me. So document page numbers, document timestamps and videos. This is a huge one. And then finally, action. And you'll see this in my notes. These are things that from the learning, from the reading, from the video that I'm like, okay, these are the actionable items. These are the things that I really need to go after. So when I'm done watching a video, training video typically, or I'm done reading a book, I've got a clear list of actionable items. What do we got here for time? Ooh, got 15 minutes? Yeah, I hope we're doing well for you. Would love to know, with everything we've covered so far, what was it for you that you needed to hear, you needed to think about, you needed to, didn't know about that. That was a takeaway for you. I'm gonna have some more of my kale smoothie while you think about that. If I have green in my teeth, sorry, that's the way it works. So what is it for you? Anything here for you? With everything we've covered in 45 minutes? Would love to hear it. All right, so let's dive into tactics, shall we? This is where we're going to take and live into this space. Tactics, to make it real for you. So the first challenge for you as we think about the tactical piece, practice your note taking. I'd love for you to take a page in a book. Let's just use High Performance Habits as an example. Take one page in a book and say, what are the themes on this page that I need to remember? Themes could be quotes, thoughts, a statement that like Brendan made in the book. What's the story that he told on this page, if there were any, that will help me sort of fuel why that theme's important? And I want to see page numbers. What's the distinctions here that I needed to hear, that I need to know? And most importantly, out of this one page in the book, what's the one actionable item that I need to put in play right now? Like, shut book, put in play. So many people, they're like, I need to go out and walk. One of the big things that I've seen as I've coached so many people over the years, they just need to walk more. And I've seen people that have taken that action of saying, you know what? I got my phone, and on the phone you can monitor your steps now. On the iPhones, they have the health app, the little heart. You'll see it in there, automatically does it as long as you're carrying it. Or they have their Fitbit, and they're out walking. And they just go out and walk 1,000 steps, or 2,000. You see? Just these little nuanced things. Really, really powerful. So practice your note-taking. I would love to see it. If you want to share it with me, in our replays, you can share, just copy and paste. If you're doing it on a computer, share it below. Or just email me a screenshot. Like, take a picture and email it to me. Charlie@successacademy.us. Would love to see it. That's my challenge for you. Are you taking action on this, or is this just a great idea you heard once? Let's go and take some action, shall we? Step number 2, tactics. Practice how you integrate your learnings. So when you think about how it shows up in your life, what is your practice? Let me break down mine. On my phone, I've removed all the games. This was about 1.5 years ago. And in place of those games, I have Evernote. And as I told you earlier, that's where I take all my notes, right? So for me to integrate those learnings, I simply say, when I have time on my hands, I press the Evernote button, and I have a tag set up. Tags are something you can do in Evernote, a shortcut to high performance, to marketing. And I hit those, and I just read, and I reintegrate, rewatch, relearn, all those kind of things. That's the number one thing I've seen with people that go to events or read books and take notes. They never review the notes again. I'd even challenge you further, is number 3, is to create or update your monthly, quarterly, and yearly rewatch or reread, rewatch list. And yeah, high performance, baby, we're going to schedule it. So schedule it. Schedule them. So simple. An iPhone or on iCal, like Apple's calendar, Google Calendar, you create a recurring event, monthly, quarterly, yearly, and inside that event you have your rewatch list. And just links. You can put links in your actual description. Put links to the videos that you need to rewatch. Make a note. Watch from this to this. Just to reintegrate those learnings to get mastery with them. One of the big things we teach in high performance is getting that standard norm set up, but then leveling up. And here's what we know. The more you hear, the more you practice, the more you take action, the better you get faster. You follow? Or the converse of that. The less you hear, the less you do, the less action you take, it just kind of fades away. You follow? It might be a little abstract, so let's just go into an example. You have this muscle, these biceps, right? And these are let's just pretend this is your learning journey. Your learning journey is to grow that muscle. You can think about going to the gym or using a kettlebell. Are the muscles going to grow? No, not usually. Or you can go down to the gym and work them, literally 3 minutes every day. And the muscles grow. You follow? So it's the power of 3 minutes, and I want to thank Don Pryor, my man, for crushing this new course you got coming up. 3 minutes to change your life. Cannot wait to see this in action. Just 3 minutes. Let me tell you, 3 minutes on a kettlebell, doing kettlebell swings, if you go Google Tim Ferriss doing it, that's a game changer for your physique. It's like one of the most important exercises that affects every major muscle in your body. You follow? Just think of it this way, 3 minutes of jumping jacks, 3 minutes of burpees. But think about it from the learning perspective. 3 minutes of reintegrating, just something you learned. Just kind of course correct your mentality. You follow? I hope this is landing for you. It's just so much fun today. What do we got here? We got about 9 minutes left. I got a lot to do, so let's crush the rest of this. Bonus, think about and journal, how would I teach this to somebody else? You'll know if you've taught other people things, that when you teach it to others, it reintegrates it into you. So if you want to just set up a challenge to teach, let's just say you read High Performance Habits, or you read Automatic Millionaire, or you read Nick's book, now is your chance. And you simply went through every day and did a 3-minute, we're going back to that 3 minutes, a 3-minute Facebook Live of saying, here's what I've learned, here's what I'm committed to, here's what you can do too. That's a shift. That can really help people. And that's something I want to make sure you've got. dialed in for you. You follow? I'm blessed because I get to teach this and then reintegrate my own style of what this all means through let me just tell you though, 30 years in the business of entrepreneurship, 30 years in teaching others, because I come from that, thanks to Bob and Bea, my grandparents setting that model. All that stuff really, really pivotal. You follow? So I hope with everything we're covering here, you've got big picture perspective, things you need to learn, tactics you need to go after. You follow? So in the last few minutes, I'm going to pop over to the big screen. I'm going to move both cameras. I got Facebook Live going. I got the camera going. We're going to go to the big screen. I'm going to show you exactly how this works out so that you have real life examples. And if you want the screen presentation for this, comment below. Let me know. I will gladly give it to you. I'll even give you the notes that I'm reviewing, a clip of them, because it was from our mastermind event, Brendan's mastermind that I went to back last November. And you'll see how this stuff is all living into play, and that's really helped propel me, as I'm so proud to report to you with our brand new revenue stream started 7.5 months ago. We're gonna hit 100K of revenue with it in the next few days. We did $22,000 in the last 30 days because I'm putting stuff in play, learning, applying, going after it. But here's the thing, and I wanna make sure you're on your learning journey for this. It's not for me about the money, it's about the purpose. It's about helping you, supporting you, taking care of you. And I mean that from the core of me. But that's what I'm talking about. The emotional fuel to go after that is everything about how the money aligns itself. You follow? Now I teach recurring revenue equals personal freedom, but I live from that. So I'm training 1 day a week or 1 day a month today, and then do 2 coachings per month. And then I support the people the rest of the month. It's a beautiful life if you can set it up. And guess what? I know you can set it up if that's something you want. So if you need help there, you let me know. But this is part of that process for me getting more masterful in my learnings to be able to serve in even bigger ways. You follow? All right, let's switch up the cameras and show you some of that good stuff. I hope you're enjoying this. All right, to the big screen. Okay. Here we go. So very first thing is exactly how I take notes using Evernote. Now, if you don't know what Evernote is, it's an online, let me make sure I'm in focus on this camera. Okay, cool. It's a program that's, on the web, on your computer, and on your phone that lets you take notes, organize them. You can capture web clips, all this stuff. It's got tons of integration with things. And I use it very specifically to keep everything in one centralized place. This is for content creation. This is for, coaching people. And we're going to talk a little bit about that in our next session. I'm going to show you exactly how I do high performance coaching from Evernote and track people's progress. And I'm going to give the high performance coaches that want it access to my Evernote. I've created an Evernote account just for sharing, and I'll let you have that. So I just want to make sure I'm empowering people to really go after these things. So powerful. I love it. So the very first thing you'll see, and I hope you can see this, I might have to zoom in, is those powerful themes. This was from Tuesday, November 14th, 2017, Mastermind Level 1 Day. This was in Half Moon Bay. Patrick was there, Petra was there, a lot of the people in our mastery community were there. And so this is how I took the notes. These were the big takeaways, powerful themes. Paula Cuejo says there's 2 things, enthusiasm and love. And I hope I'm demonstrating that for you today. When you give love and are enthusiastic about it and just sort out your crap, put it to the side, guess what the world feels? Empowered, inspired, uplifted. That's our job. Not only as part of thought leadership, those kind of things, but that's our job overall. Let me fix this. Looks like the battery's almost dead over here. I want to make sure that stream's still kicking. So your enthusiasm is what makes you great in your life, right? This was a quote Patrick came up with on the cuff when Brendan challenged him. Let me be something they don't understand. And I was like, oh, because you're pushing people. If you get right above their learning, right above where they're at, you're pushing them to figure it out. If they're of the growth mindset, right? So I hope I did a little bit of that over here for you. People connect with the emotional side of you. I hope you're feeling that today. Me putting it out there, me sharing my ratings, me telling you where I got to work, me telling you that I overdid a kettlebell swing, and I'm still a little stiff. Luckily, I get my massage every month. That's a lymphatic massage and a full body massage. And she worked my back out big time, dug right deep right in there. Yesterday was when that was, and it was so beautiful. I've been doing that since 2005. Rocking it, going after it, living the healthy, wealthy, happy life, right? Our endings are our beginnings. Really pivotal theme. I needed to hear that because I need to bring, at that time, this was November, I needed to bring closure to some things as I fired new things up. Follow? Really, really pivotal. Down here, I have my action list. Questions, I put ask. And I don't know if you can see that, but it says ask. What would I have to do to make my customers love me? Then I answered it a little bit, but I use that as a journaling question to add value, heart, and consistency. Distinction, remember I talked about distinctions. Whoever is the most value-driven, heart-driven, and consistent person in the industry, you're going to eclipse everyone else. Like, this is just one screen capture of notes that I took. Do you think if I went to my phone and I picked it up and I played Tetris, which was one of my go-tos, that I would have gotten this reiteration of what's important to grow my mastery community? Do you think playing Tetris would have helped me, compared to this, go and really scale my one offer to the world, which is our beautiful mastery community? I don't think so. My challenge for you is you take notes like this, you live into them, you own this. So if you need to rewatch this replay a ton of times, I'm going to have the audio available for you too. Do it. If you need my help, ask. My job here is so clear, is to empower you to go after this, to take action on this. I'd love for you to see. I'd love to see your notes, and I'd love to see your action list. This was a big one for me. Didn't have a lot of this in 2017 at the end. Find your SWAT team days. What that means is find days that are just carved out for SWAT activity. What is a SWAT activity? It's where there's no interruption and you're just going after learning, creating, and sharing, putting goodwill into the world. You follow? Really, really powerful. Next screen. These are the questions. How did I find my biggest thought leader even when they're my biggest competitor? Like, how do I find my biggest thought leader? And these are all the distinctions. 2 major distinctions. No holds barred, sell with enthusiasm with your competitors. That's a game changer. So many people view their competitors as people they just need to just get so solidly focused on burying, they forget that they could cooperate with them. So you have to start selling your philosophy of life and business, your themes in life so much, with so much enthusiasm, no one has any doubt, right? Really powerful. Your philosophy needs to be shared with more often than you can imagine. Probably heard that a lot in today's training, right? Action, develop a philosophy of life. So my challenge for you is, do you have a philosophy in life? And if so, will you share it with me? I'd love to see it. Major distinction, we all want acceptance so bad, we fear rejection so much, we shut down. Do not do that. Just ties into everything we've been teaching over here. You follow? Next, freedom and feeling versus intellectualizing. So many of the high performers that I work with, they get intellectual and they forget to sort of let themselves loose and have freedom and feel the emotional side of things. You can see distinction, ask, theme. If people are on the fence, an emotional wave will get them off the fence. Intellectualizing got them on the fence. You follow? These notes were taken once. I'm just typing my butt off. That's my dream for you. So if you want these notes, I'm more than happy to share them. Well, I can only share a little bit of them, actually. I'm more than happy to share a couple screen captures with you, just so you have a framing for what everything we taught today looks like. Cool? So what do we have for time? Okay, we're just at the end of our time. So I'm going to go through this actually with our Zoom roundtable today, because there's things in this after I set this up that I can't share publicly because it's a confidential process. Does that make sense? So I'm going to share it in our Zoom roundtable, which is our way for us to just get chill, ask questions, do strategy and all that stuff. That happens at 1:30 today. If you're not part of our monthly mastery community, feel free to apply for it. And the way you do that, just comment below and I'll send you the application, or private message me, whatever that is. As so many of you know, we're live casting this on Facebook today while we're teaching it, and live casting it to YouTube. So with that all being said, I hope I hope that for you today, I have delivered some really powerful things that can help you live more purposefully, really discover and realize those passions, to live more positively, as we talked about over here, to keep that productivity up. And in high performance, we teach productivity like this. It's not about getting more done. It's about getting the right things done and being in harmony with life. All these different areas for yourself, for your business, for your lover, for your family, for your friends, for your hobbies, your passions, your finances, your emotions, positive state, your spirit. And finally, I hope this is a baby step towards living more profitably too. So that all being said, thank you so incredibly much for letting me have this time with you. And thank you so much for listening. And if you want any of the stuff we talked about, comment below, share what I've challenged you to share. You've got this. If you need help, I tell you that over there. Let's rock it. You got it? Cool. Thanks so much for joining, everybody. Talk to you later.